First of all, sorry for the terrible mic quality. I'm sorry. Alright, let's do this. Alright, History of the Atom by me, Sonny Kinash. Alright, these are my 4 questions. First, we have when and where was the atom first discovered? This is answered in part 1 of the atom. After the discovery, where does the atom's theory go from there? That's part 2 of the atom. Third question, who discovered the nucleus and what is it? Part 1 and 2 in the nucleus. After Rutherford's discoveries, what does he do to expand on the nucleus? Part 3 of nucleus. Alright, here we go. History of the atom, part 1. To begin, what is the atom and where does its first discoveries come from? The idea of the atom was first recorded in the 5th century BCE by 2 Greeks by the name of Leucippus and Democritus. They first called the atom atomus, meaning invisible. Democritus proposed these ideas to many philosophers, but they were largely ignored due to most philosophers favoring the Aristotelian perspective. This perspective is a theory of the ultimate nature of reality. Aristotelianism is the belief of the individual in the realm of existence, in the applicability to reality of a certain set of explanatory concepts. That's basically where it ends for those 2 Greeks. Alright, part 2. After many centuries, this concept of the atom was revisited by scientists including Galileo, Newton, and Boyle. In 1661, the first model atomic theory performed by John Dalton was presented in Robert Boyle's book, The Skeptical Chemist. Dalton's experiment led to the earliest measurements of the atomic masses. He came up with the idea that elements consist of small particles known as atoms. Atoms can't be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Atoms of the same element are identical. Atoms of different elements have different masses and properties. Chemical reactions are rearrangements of atoms, and compounds are formed by a combination of 2 or more different kinds of atoms. Like before with the 2 Greek philosophers, Dalton's theories were not exactly popular in the 19th century, but since then his ideas have since been accepted. Alright. How did Rutherford discover the nucleus and where does he go from there? Part 1. In the early 1900s, a man by the name of Ernest Rutherford made a key discovery regarding the atom. The discovery was that at the core of every atom lies a nucleus. How did he do this? By using the gold foil experiment. The reason he did this experiment was because he wanted to test the plum pudding model and see if it was accurate. The experiment consisted of Rutherford beaming in alpha particles onto a gold foil surrounded by a detector. The detector was coated with a fluorescent substance that allowed the detector to flash when alpha particles hit the gold foil. What Rutherford realized is that many alpha particles went through the gold foil, bounced back, and deflected at large angles. With that experiment, he came to the conclusion that the plum pudding model could not be correct. Part 2. After the gold foil experiment, he made a theory on how the atom was mostly empty space because of the amount of alpha particles going through. But when he saw some of them bouncing back, he made the assumption that something was in the center, which is now known as the nucleus. The other thing was how the alpha particles were being deflected. We all know that the alpha particle has a charge of 2+. Rutherford, knowing this, made the assumption that the nucleus has a dense positive charge consisting of electrically positive protons and electrically neutral neutrons. Despite its size, the nucleus is responsible for more than 99% of the total atomic mass. Alright, part 3, the planetary model. After Rutherford's success of discovering the nucleus, he quickly made the planetary model of the atom. The model consists of electrons orbiting the nucleus, kind of like a planet orbiting the sun, also known as the solar system nuclear Rutherford model. Later on, Bohr and Rutherford found out that the planetary model had a major flaw. Said flaw was that it failed to explain why individual atoms produce discrete line spectra and that electrons orbit the nucleus in a circular fashion. This is where the Boyle model comes in. The model consists of positively charged nucleus surrounded by negative electrons moving around the nucleus orbits. Yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoy.